ladies and gentlemen, to another episode of Amplify, where we interview and highlight movers and shakers in our fabulous industry. Today, I have the pleasure of not only my friend, but Brena Nath. And Brena is the director of HW Plus and events. Did I say that correctly?
You did, Delilah. That was perfect. And thank you for the introduction. I'm so excited to be here.
You're very welcome, and I appreciate your time.
Mhm.
And I wanted to get you on because I've been seeing you guys on social media and what you've been highlighting and promoting. And I want the industry to know, like, hey, what's going on over at Wire? What are you getting prepared for? And if they want to attend, we'll give them some details and some 411. So yeah, what is the gathering, Bretta?
My favorite topic is what the gathering is. I'm so excited to talk about it. I try to be succinct, so I'll keep this kind of in the know for everyone so you have like the bullet points of what you need.
Okay.
But I'd say the biggest thing, so let's start with the information just so people know where and when. I think that's a
Yeah,
great place to
that's true.
start. So April 21st through 24th, we're about less than 60 days away, or right at 60 in
Yep.
Scottsdale, Arizona.
Yes.
Where it's nice and sunny, similar to where you are, Delilah, not where I am in Colorado. It snowed yesterday. No, I know. We're excited for some sunshine, and hopefully everyone can make a nice. We have people who often bring their friends, their family, just because it's such a
But
beautiful resort. So you can get great content from the event, but also just like
yes.
an experience out of it. So it's at the JW Marriott Camelback down in Scottsdale, Arizona. So that's just kind of like the details that you need to
Okay.
know. But
Awesome.
going
Thanks.
deeper into that what that you asked, Delilah, I think it's a great question. I think the first thing I would love to clarify is just in the past, HousingWire has had two flagship events. We had Gathering of Eagles for
Yes.
real estate high caliber executives, and then we had HousingWire Annual, which you've been at,
Yes,
and
I
that is for our mortgage audience, title, appraisal, all kind of really going in with some toxins of real estate as well. What's unique this year is there is no other event. Our one event this year, we've
just
merged those
want
together into one
got it.
flagship event titled The Gathering. This is
Okay.
going to be our flagship event moving forward. So it's what you can expect from us in 2025 as well. Yep.
Got
And kind of the tagline we use, which I think is just how we wanted to think of this. You have these two high caliber audiences. And so we're saying we're trying to build the most powerful room in housing. We know that real estate executives often are chatting with mortgage executives. These are the
yes.
partnerships and the synergies, as you know so well, the industry needs to move forward. And so we wanted to bring them together in one space where growth and progress and solutions and opportunities could be birthed and kind of chatted through and create great plans for the future.
No, I absolutely love it. And it's true. I have been
Yeah.
to Housing Wire Annual, had a great time, an amazing time. And I had never been to the gathering, but it's cool that you guys did merge them together.
Yep.
And you're absolutely right about that. The real estate individual or leader and the mortgage
Yeah.
executive, they go together hand in hand like peanut butter and jelly.
Yeah.
And there is anytime there's an originator, there is a real estate agent right
Yep.
behind, and vice versa. So I can see that happening and putting them in a room. And then I also see when I was there with you guys, a lot of was it marketing executives,
Yep.
like right? There was a
Yep. So
lot
we
of
have this whole marketing section as well.
yeah, yeah. So you guys got a good mix. Do you feel like you got a good
Yep.
mix attending this
Yeah.
year?
It's almost like they all funnel up to these people who are making the strategic decisions
Yep.
within a company. And I think something that you embody so well, Delilah, is I remember when you came on stage, you were authentic, you were real, open on stage. And that's the same thing we're looking for. And that's what I think is so special when I tell people what makes our sessions unique. The wording that Clayton Collins, our CEO, uses is like you're sharing the 1% of yourself that you don't share anywhere else. And you did that. Like you shared the 1% of you that people needed to hear, which I think is so important. I think that's the vulnerability, that's the authenticity that this industry needs, and that we're crafting those moments.
And Brenna, I had totally forgot about that. I think I've spoken one time about it um, on a podcast I was invited on, but you're absolutely, I forgot because it was a women's panel. It was
Yep.
a women's panel. And I remember it was something like what did you give up like for your career, right? What is the one
Yeah.
thing you kind of like had to give up? And everyone was being super honest on that stage. And when I gave them my answer, which I'm just gonna say it so that people don't
Yeah.
ask, like I sacrificed my marriage to
Yeah.
advance my career. Um, the room was silent. The room was
Yeah.
so silent, and I thought that was it. I thought I was done, Brenna. I ended my career, but it
Yeah.
ended up being such a real, like
Mhm.
real session to the point where a lot of women did come up to me and say, "Hey, thank
Yeah.
you." And they were able to relate not only to myself but the entire panel. It was a
Yeah.
group panel, and I'm expecting those same sessions when I
Yeah.
attend the gathering. I'm really excited for you guys.
Yeah, it's that same part of like you shared, like the truth. And I think for other people, it's like, what was, you can take that into so many different sessions as an executive. What was a tough decision that you made? When did you have to cut some? We just went through a really tough market. And
Yeah.
while we have hope for 2025, we're still in the thick of it. So the tough decisions, the strategies that you had made, maybe sometimes you had to exit a business. There's these we're humans and there's truth in that. And I think a lot of our sessions merge. So the session that you spoke at, Delilah, was our Women of Influence section, which we don't have in the same role now, but it
Okay.
focused on women leaderships. And so our Vanguard form is kind of similar in that you tap into the heart of the leader, but we still bring that through and carry it through a lot of our sessions, sharing that 1% of you across,
Like
in
that.
whatever role that you are.
I like the heart of a leader. I
Yeah.
love that. I gotta really like write it down.
Write it down. Write
Yeah.
it down.
And then it was a great it, the sessions are wonderful and they're real
Yeah.
and they're intimate. That was another thing. It wasn't like
Yeah.
anything like super massive. I felt
Yeah.
that I was able to connect with the people on stage, connect with people that were in the round table that I was with. I didn't sit
Yeah.
I purposely sat with other folks that I don't know, so I was able to
Yeah.
just get some new connections. And you're right, you're in a room with a lot of decision makers. So if you are needing to be in a place where decision makers are leaders, C-suite, marketing, this is definitely, you got to attend the gathering. Yeah. And
Yeah.
Michael and I are so honored that for the invite. So thank you so much. So much.
Of course, of course. And I think people like to take notes from you on how to network because I think the way you say it, we try to craft from networking happy hours. We
Yeah.
have a pickleball tournament. We have these moments, wine tasting for people to sit together. And I think what you did is so important. And I love the strategies. I'm like, okay, if you're going to go here, how do you maximize your time? We've gotten so much feedback
Yes.
from people that they want actionable insights.
Yes.
And that's what you're crafting. And actual insights does not stop sitting in your session. Actual insights is let me sit at a table with people I don't know. Let me go to this happy
Yeah.
hour and walk up to people. And people are always pretty willing. Like this industry is open. We're willing to chat with new folks,
Yes.
and it is a more intimate conference. We have one stage lineup. Yeah, so great call out there, Delilah. Like make the most if you're gonna go. And I think that's important. Like,
Yeah.
how do you maximize your time here, especially at this resort where you run into people at the hotel lobby, you run into people if you decided to go to the pool. We crafted this space for you to intermix a lot. And I am a huge advocate that you need to meet people with other hats on. So, like pickleball court, great example. How I have a different hat on. You don't know me in my role as like director of HG Plus. You know me in my role as like, wow, she's actually I'm not, but like let's pretend I'm competitive in this moment at pickleball. Like, wow, I didn't know Brena was so competitive. This is Brena in her pickleball hat. It helps so much with crafting those relationships. So
It
get
does.
those moments.
And you're absolutely right. It doesn't necessarily have
Yeah.
to be at one of the sessions, right? You can create a relationship or a connection in the
Yeah.
lobby, by the pool, like at a happy hour. So
Mhm.
I definitely encourage people, and thank you for that. I do. I love networking. My God-given
Yeah.
talent is the ability to connect with people, to relationship, and I just run with it because that's how I build my whole business is
Oh, run
relationship.
with it. Run
Yeah.
with, I think, those moments. I think, yeah, my favorite stories are funny networking greats and not so greats in the moments because you're gonna have fails in the moment. But I'm all about how to get yourself out there.
And anything else before we, let the people go? And is there anything else that you want to let the audience know about the gathering?
Yeah, I would say if you want more information, some of the great lineup of speakers, if you go to housingwire.com and navigate through our main bar, you'll see events and it gives you the great lineup of speakers. But just to toss out a few names that I know a lot of people are watching, you have the Chief Information Officer at Rocket, the founder and CEO at CoStar Group, the President of Finance of America. You also have the President, the CEO of Guild Mortgage. So just this solid lineup of people who are, not trying to survive until 2025. I was on a call earlier with an executive and they said,
Uh-huh.
we are surviving, we are thriving through 2025. And I like the way that they put it. So feel free to go to housingwire.com just to learn more.
Thank you so much. And you guys, thank you for another episode of Amplify, where we highlight and spotlight movers and shakers. Brena, thank you so much for your time. I really look forward, girl, to seeing you in person, giving you that hug in Scottsdale. And you guys, make sure you connect with Brena, connect with Housing Wire, and see you in Scottsdale. Bye.
Yes, cheers.